Well, it seems like there's plenty of interest of my version of use of this TRX, given the last video. So here we go. I'm gonna do another video how I'm using this TRX and what all my experience. So as y'all know, I don't use a TRX. Pretty much don't use it for what it was originally built for. In my opinion, it was built more of a Baja truck, you know, higher speed, sand dunes and all that stuff. That's not what I use this thing for. Absolutely love it. If you know, if you guys want to hear my opinion of this truck, go watch my other video where I brought you guys along on a quick little review. What I'm doing today is I'm overlanding. I was literally lazy to go grab my Yukon. My regulars know I own a 02 2500 Yukon XL. Phenomenal vehicle. Yes, guys, I have 4 kids in that truck and they're going wild. I'm overlanding today. I'm limited to wide trails. You could tell me, dude, there's nothing here. But back there was rocks. It wasn't a tough road. It wasn't treacherous, but good chunky rocks. You know, I was there cutting through the side of the mountain. There's plenty of rocks. Vehicle did it phenomenally. I don't come close to the abilities of this vehicle. But for what I'm doing today, one negative thing that stood out was the width. I'm limited to what trail I could take. And obviously I'll just call myself a good owner, responsible owner. I don't want to pinstripe the living piss out of this thing. I just don't think it's right to do that to a vehicle. Where my Yukon, I'm like, that's not too bad. And I plow through those bushes, right? It's an older vehicle. It's exactly what it was intended for. This is a fairly new vehicle, and it's a much more expensive vehicle. This is what the intention is of this vehicle. Absolutely love this vehicle, but today's case, I was lazy to go to the shop and switch vehicles. I just want to hop in the vehicle and go. And this one was around, the Yukon wasn't. What are these kiddos doing? What's up, Benny? So as far as, obviously these kids are having a blast in the back. Oh, God bless them. They have so much patience. I literally told them, hey, give Papa 5 minutes. Papa wants to bring the boys along and talk about this, right? Obviously, I'm not using this vehicle for what it was intended, but as an overlanding vehicle, by golly, this thing is a breeze. As long as the road is wide enough, you cruise at a really good rate. A couple weekends ago, I took the boys out shooting, and we were probably 30 miles west of here. Dude, we were doing 45, 50, and my whole family's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I feel comfortable, you know what I mean? You can't do that with the Yukon. You cannot put in those miles with the Yukon like you could with this thing, especially the washboards. Man, this thing shines in the washboards. Don't get me wrong, the Yukon having the Bilstein 5100s, much better than stock, but it will never compete with this. And no, not that I'm saying it will. I'm just talking about things that stood out to me, right? Overlanding with this thing. The width is a big no-no for what I do. I have to say the wide trails, but then the washboards, them boys really make it work, and it's just a breeze. Fuel mileage, they're about the same. They're just cut your losses, call it 10 miles to the gallon, and call it a day. This thing's a 6.2 supercharged. My 2500 is a 8.1 naturally aspirated. You just kind of do quick math, 10 miles to a gallon, how many gallons you're gonna need. Are you gonna make it, or you're not gonna make it on the trip? So overall, if you're an overlander that never goes through tight trails, I wouldn't buy a Yukon. I would definitely stick with this thing. You need more room, do a tonneau cover, do the whole cage thing. Because if you buy a Yukon and you try to compete with this suspension, you're going to be so far financially into that Yukon, it's just not worth your time. Buy something like this. Locking rear diff, it's just like, it's a breeze. What have I done to this vehicle? Nothing. Tinted. Okay, that's as modified as this vehicle gets. It is tinted. To today's day, I still get asked, how much money did you put into modifying your truck? And I got asked probably 5 to 7 times, and I kind of give them a blank look. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because the first couple times I didn't realize, a lot of people still don't know about a TRX. They're like, man, looks like you modified the bed and you have all these cool fenders. I'm like, and one of the guys was a diesel tech. I'm like, bro, this thing is factory. All I've done is the tint. Anyways, fellas, so with that being said, I enjoy as a company owner, what I'm underlining, that's plenty of headache, and I could just buy something, get in it, and enjoy life. That's definitely a plus. The Yukon is the better long roader, right? Keep in mind, I live in Washington. There's plenty of these trails around me. Within half a day's we'll just call it 5 hours. Within 5 hours, I could get to my trail, I could ride my trail, I could come off my trail, and I could be home 5 hours. And if I want to go extreme, I could do 8 hours. So I don't really have to do any crazy long tripping. Like this trail here, I'm about an hour and a half on it. It took me half an hour to get to this trail. So I'm 2 hours into it. I probably have about another hour on this trail, and then about 45 minutes home, up to an hour. So there you have it. You know, it's phenomenal. I'm deep in the forest. I got no service, nobody bug me, and it's wonderful. So there you have it. Is it a TRX video? Kinda, sorta. This is how Paul uses, well, howdy kiddos. This is how Paul uses the TRX, but that's the whole point of this video, how Paul uses his TRX. Now let me show you, I can show you how far I'm into this trip. Alrighty. I'm 53 miles, 9 miles to the gallon. Once I get back on the freeway, we'll probably bump it up to 10, but that's it, fellas. I'm gonna wrap it up, call it a day, and as always, may the Lord bless you. May Almighty find day. Ciao.